Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's going on, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well. And in this video, we're talking about Oscar Isaac potentially returning to the Star Wars universe as Poe Dameron once again. In this video, we're going to be reading from the Direct's article, and I'm going to have that full article linked down in the description down below for you guys to check out if you wish on your own. As it reads, Oscar Isaac would return to Star Wars under these specific conditions. Oscar Isaac has enjoyed quite the resurgence in 2022 thanks to his trio of thrilling roles in Marvel Studios' Moon Knight on Disney+. But on top of that, he's already built up a history with Disney in a different fan favorite universe, having played the role of Poe Dameron on all three movies of Star Wars sequel trilogy spanning from 2015 to 2019. In the galaxy far, far away, Oscar Isaac was last seen in 2019's Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, helping the Resistance defeat the revived Emperor Palpatine as he teamed up with Rey and Finn once again. With the franchise having moved more towards Disney Plus storytelling with shows like The Mandalorian, the Skywalker saga has been left in the rearview mirror, although that story could still come back into play at some point later on. This is something I'm going to be talking about in a separate future video here on the channel regarding an article that we had a couple months ago now from Screen Rant, and kind of the potential of another trilogy, how that would play into the Skywalker saga, and I think really completely give us a full conclusion to the Skywalker saga at that. However, that's for a future separate video, as I had mentioned. As our article continues to talk, in past interviews, Oscar Isaac has discussed the idea of returning to his role in Star Wars, although it would be a party to be conjoined with John Boyega and Daisy Ridley returning as Finn and Rey as well. Now he's revisited that topic as he looks at what would truly take to bring him back to the expansive universe. Oscar Isaac on a potential Star Wars comeback himself. In an interview with Cyrus XM, Star Wars actor Oscar Isaac spoke about possibly returning to Star Wars and in that universe as Poe Dameron in the future and what it would take for him to truly come back. Oscar Isaac admitted that to the host, Jess Cagle, that was interviewing him, that he wasn't leaning one way or another with that decision, but if he had been approached with a great story and a great director, then he would be very interested. He also discussed how challenging it is with regard to having time to do projects like that, but he's open to do it, he says, if anything comes up. In that full quote of what he was asked, as Cagle asks, and with everything happening in Star Wars, for example, I'm sure that there are discussions, whether you're part of them or not. Do you sometimes think, oh, I'll probably get back as to Poe Dameron at some point, or do you think, I've done that and I'm not interested in doing it? You know, that option is probably always there. And Oscar Isaac responded with, I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm open to anything, you know, but yeah, I have no real feeling one way or the other, you know. I'm open to any kind of good story, any good thing to do, and time is the one thing that becomes much more challenging as you get older with kids and all that. It's like, where do I find those things to fit in? Start really realizing that there's not enough time for it all. But if there was a great story and a great director, and Kathleen Kennedy, the Lucasfilm president, came to me and was like, hey, we've got this idea, you know, and I'm so open to it, and I'm secondary focused on ending the quote right there. Oscar Isaac definitely does bring up some cool and some good points here, legit, I think, regarding, of course, a good story is definitely something that would be much needed. A good director, somebody that knows, you know, kind of what they're doing, not necessarily writing Rise, that could be somebody else that is writing this stuff, but something that regards in its directing, and a good story I think is very important for one thing, and also having a good director that they get along with, of course, is for another thing. I think that Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams, everybody got along together pretty well, and they did all a pretty good job when it came to directing and everything with that. And also the idea of where he brings up time, and time is just such a precious thing here, and especially when you have kids and you're older here, of course, he's kind of humanizing himself almost. He's not this, you know, big, I guess, celebrity all the time. He's a father figure, he's a husband, and he has kids of his own. So I just think that, in my own thoughts and opinions, I think it's very cool that he does bring that up, kind of bringing us into the real world a little bit more. Now, as the article continues to talk about, when asked what fans asked him about the most, Oscar Isaac recalled how kids in Denmark would ask him about Star Wars regularly during his stays there. As the interviewer asks Cagle, Oscar, when are you around the world, like when you're in Denmark right now, what do people ask you the most about? Because you've been a part of these enormous global franchises. Is it Star Wars or is it potentially Marvel? Oscar Isaac responded with, so I'm up in here in this little village up here, and they had this very small music festival down there, and it was shockingly very young kids that were there. I was like, whoa, but no, it was like teenagers and stuff, and it was a couple of times people would be just like, Star Wars, Star Wars. They would just yell Star Wars at me. And ending the quote right there, kind of showing that people do want him back in the role of Poe Dameron, and also kind of that he's known from Star Wars very well. Other than that, to be honest with you guys, I don't really think that this has all that much to do with him potentially really returning to Star Wars all that much, as of an insight of what he has to say himself here. Of course, it does regard that people know him very, very famously for Star Wars, but I think that Moon Knight and that character coming more into the expanse of the MCU here and with Marvel, not just a Disney Plus show, but into movies and stuff like that, like the next Avengers movies. I think he'll definitely be known for those as well, very, very much. It's just a matter of time type of thing. If you are a Marvel fan, I have my Marvel channel linked in the description down below. From there, the article talks about, according to Oscar Isaac, fans overseas are quite passionate about the big tentpole projects that he's in, which includes both Star Wars and Moon Knight from Marvel. In that full quote, the interviewer Kaggle says, "That's nice. What do you say to that?" And this is regarding the previous quote about how people and fans like to yell Star Wars at him. Oscar Isaac responds well with, "It felt great. It felt really great." So yeah, that happened up here, and I think Star Wars generally, Moon Knight a bit more, you know, those are like the big ones. Those are the bigger tent projects, so those are the ones. And in the quote right there, this here, of course, is him just simply acknowledging, I guess, the bigger franchises that he's a part of, Star Wars and Marvel. Self-explanatory, my thoughts and opinions. Now, as the article continues to talk about Oscar Isaac open to a Star Wars reunion here potentially, considering how deep Disney is diving into streaming shows on Disney Plus with the upcoming release of Star Wars Andor being next in line later on in September 21st, it may be some time until Poe Dameron's era of adventures will be revisited potentially on Disney Plus. But even with the negative reception to his last couple of movies and the sequels, he hasn't shut the door completely on reprising his role as the marauding galactic pirate and Rebels captain. Nearly 3 years after his appearance in The Rise of Skywalker, Oscar Isaac remains passionate about Star Wars and the Star Wars story, even after he reviewed the new Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser fan experience ahead of its opening. It's also unclear how busy he would be with his work as Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, along with the other movies he's a part of, but should he be asked to return to Star Wars, he would welcome the opportunity with open arms, it seems so. As the article ends right there, as I had mentioned, I have that full article linked down in the description down below as well for you guys to check out. I just have to throw this one out there kind of as like a Star Wars kind of, I guess, fan theory, or just a Star Wars speculation, a Star Wars fans' hopes and dreams type of thing here. I think it would be so cool to have like a little short type of thing like they did recently with the Marvel's I Am Groot series on Disney Plus, where we get like a little side adventure of Poe Dameron and his experience of what happened to him after him and Finn escaped from the First Order and then accidentally crashed back on Jakku. Him kind of with that whole experience of getting back BB-8 and then getting back off of Jakku. It's something that's kind of seen off screen, so kind of to see like a short type of thing would be kind of cool, and a nice kind of slow way to reintroduce his character back into Star Wars, whilst also potentially expanding on another trilogy here to kind of really complete the Skywalker saga here in those full terms here essentially, and revisiting the movies there. This is something at the beginning of the video that I had mentioned that I'm going to be talking about and covering here in a separate feature video here on the channel, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Stay tuned for just not only that, but also all types of all other Star Wars news that we have here on the channel, covering all types of news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. If you guys are into that, hit the subscribe button and join us here today. I want all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think. What would you guys want to see with Oscar Isaac returning to Star Wars, and what would you want to see in a potential, I guess, Poe Dameron spin-off project potentially per se, or maybe another trilogy regarding him and his character with the sequels? Let me know in the comment section down below.